Boy, oh boy. Ladies, gents, and everyone under the sun, welcome back to another episode of the Container Podcast, episode 16. Time flies.
Indeed.
What's up,
Already
Kyle?
another week?
Yes.
Already another week?
Jackie,
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone.
alive and well, I see.
Yes, very alive, very well.
Today was a very, very beautiful day for us, right? I don't know if you guys went outside a bit, because the temperature was amazing, 7 degrees Celsius. What is it in Fahrenheit, guys?
I have
don't
no
know.
clue. Because
So-
Fahrenheit is weird. It's like,
You can say it, it's inferior.
yeah, it's shit.
It is. But you know, we won't dwell too much on that. We took our chance at having a nice walk outside and did so while, how do we say, respecting distanciation rules, of course, because you know
Yeah.
we're two goody good shoes guy, or I don't know, guys. I don't know how you say it.
But yeah, we follow the rules.
Of course,
Make
of
sure
course.
that everyone is safe. Yes.
Because the fight against COVID is not yet over, right?
Yeah, right.
Indeed.
But I mean, we're close. We're close to the end.
You think so?
I think so. I'm very optimistic for this
I
year.
think beginning summer or midsummer, we're gonna be able to get a bit of normalcy back. I still think we'll be wearing masks and stuff, and you know what? I don't care. I don't need to smell people's bad breath. But you know what? I think they should leave masks forever.
Forever, just like in
Yeah,
Asia.
Why not? Like it doesn't. It's not much more trouble for you. I'm talking about like the grocery store. I'm not talking about when you're, or in the metro. Fuck yeah, people should be wearing masks in the metro at all times. It's disgusting. It's people fucking breathing there. Nah. Put a mask on. I'm gonna keep putting a mask on. I'm gonna lead a revolution into the next.
I think you seen into the future.
Yeah, he's onto something. Yeah.
Like I want to have that perspective on some other stuff too, so we could make money off it or something.
Start a movement. We don't want to see your ugly face. Put a mask.
Oh, cool designs and like social pressure, that works great.
Yeah.
On today's episode, we will talk about two things. First,
Wait. Just
oh,
sorry. I just want to say because of this week, I don't know when we'll, put the podcast on the channel, but this week there was like this big interview with Meghan Markle and Oprah about the royal family, and it's all over the news. So of course you guys have heard about it, about
Yeah.
that whole scandal and everything. And I just want to give a shout out to our episode on the family that we did. And there's hope for me that maybe that Meghan Markle managed to watch that episode, and maybe that gave her the courage to, speak out about this horrible, horrible thing that is the royal family. So
yes.
this is all I wanted to say.
You know, I haven't read much about it, but I saw that it happened.
Hmm.
So,
Well-
do you want to give us a little summary?
I don't want to go into the details. I think people will know about it, but it's just basically that Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle,
Who
they
isn't
just
royalty, right?
Yeah, she isn't royalty,
She's
and
an actress.
yeah, she's an American actress, and she got married with Prince Harry, and they had a child together, and everything. So they decided to. I think it was during the summer. They decided, you know what, we've had enough of the royal family, and they decided to move away from England. They went to Canada for a couple of weeks, and then
Yeah,
they moved
fuck
to
that. I really didn't like
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, I mean that's the
Where are
big
they? They're
story.
in the U.S.
Yeah, I think right now they're in the U.S. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're in the
You know
US.
what? You know what I'm gonna say about the story? I don't get it. How anybody's surprised? It's Rich,
yes, that's
white,
basically where I wanted to
old
go.
assholes. Like,
Yeah.
of course they're fucking racist. What do you expect? Like,
Of course, bro.
their families ran the biggest empire and had enslaving people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fuck. You know what they did to the Indians or to the Chinese with the opium wars and everything? Like, what the fuck do you expect? Like, like
Who are they joking?
like yeah, she's crying and everything, but I'm just like, everybody told you, everybody told you that this was gonna happen, like when she was getting married, it was like, hey, you're gonna receive some shit.
I'm still salty about Lady D, so
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So as we said, we're very optimistic for this year for COVID, but I am also optimistic that one day we'll get rid of this real disease that is the royal family. So we'll leave it to that.
We should do what we did in the French Revolution.
oh my god,
Ooh.
that's a plan.
I hate that we're still they still the UK still cucks us, I hate that so much there with their governor general.
Yes.
And we just learned that she's an even bigger piece of shit, that one. Put that job to rest. It's not needed anymore. Put the UK in it. Get out away from there.
I mean, being part of the Commonwealth is pretty cool and all,
That's fine. That's fine. You're part of the Commonwealth, good enough. But why do I need a representation of the Queen here in Canada?
we don't.
I don't need it. Bye-bye.
Yes. This is how it should be.
Yeah, so
Anyways,
this was the news segment.
Before we get taken off the YouTube for...
We're already
Oh yeah, we just
cancelled,
want to get
guys.
this on record. Yeah, before taking off YouTube. Like, we don't like the word. I think you guys pretty much know that from now on.
Yeah, man. It was enjoyable for what it lasted, but we have to move on.
Move on.
Yeah.
Evolve.
So,
New
yeah,
identity,
so this week,
new faces. I mean, I don't know, man. The royal family is pretty powerful, even in 2021.
Yeah,
Yep.
but one day though, if we stop giving them attention, that's when they lose their power. Because right now we give them
Think
so
so?
goddamn... Yeah.
They
Just
don't
cut them
have
off.
like a lot of gold and all.
Yeah, but if you don't pay them, if you don't give them anything, if you don't pay them salaries and shit, they'll run
true.
off one
That's
day.
true. So yeah, let's cross our fingers. And start this episode. Topic number 1. The Chernobyl review. We already reviewed part 1 and 2. It's a 5-part, how do you call it? Documentary?
no, it's a mini series.
Mini-series. I think that's the actual language that they use.
5-part miniseries made by HBO. And actually, I don't want to give the credit to HBO. Could you name me the people that actually worked on the project?
The writer and creator is Craig Marzin, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember the actual director, but I know the writer is Craig Marsh. I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Shout out to Craig, man, because he wrote us...
Craig Mazin. I think that's a Polish name, actually.
Oh,
Sounds very Polishy.
because he wrote a masterpiece, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah. The director is Johan Rennick.
Rennick. Is he from Eastern Europe?
He's from Uppsala, Sweden.
Yeah, that doesn't count as such, but I'll say that it counts.
Yeah, let's say it counted.
Episode 1, 2, if we do a quick summary, we are late at night in a nuclear plant in Russia, Chernobyl, and a safety test is going on, and it goes horribly wrong. The reactor blows up, and from episode 1 to 2, we see the direct actions from the firemen to the people in charge, like the first response, what was the initial plan, how to deal with the crisis. That was about it, right? 1 and 2.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, 1 and 2 is exactly that.
And then
And
we watched 3, 4, 5 in the span of like, what was it, a day?
yeah, pretty much. Well, we watched 4 and 5 the same day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and 3, if I can characterize 3, is them finally realizing that there's bigger problems. That like they put the fire out. They like the immediate threat is done until they realize that they still have some work to do, right? Some big long-term work, and it's pretty much that's the I'd say the main story, like with the miners and everything, and then after that with the you finally see the what's happening to the firefighters' bodies and
yes.
whatnot in the hospitals and everything.
Just for 3 to precise, to make it a little bit more specific, the miners had to dig up a hole beneath where the reactor exploded to reinforce it. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, to put like a heat exchange pad. So when there was like gonna be lava coming down,
Exactly,
well,
because
they'll be
they
able to
covered
cool
up
it
the
down.
fire with boron, or is it right? Dust,
Yeah, boron and
sand?
sand.
Yeah, yeah. And what that created is no flames, but high temperatures and molten sand and boron, which is lava. So it's even worse. So you have radioactive trash burning down and threatening to spread into the water beneath the ground and infecting from where to where, guys?
Well, it was the whole river because it was a water source underneath that fed into the river,
Yeah,
and it's I forget the name of the river, but it was the river that you know half of 50 million people, two huge countries, Ukraine and what Belarus also,
uh-huh.
um, that had to that depend on this water to survive, right? Their factories work on it, they drink from it, everything comes from that river, and it would have been infected, and you know,
And the
that's not a
Black
good
Sea,
thing.
right? From that river
Yeah,
straight to the Black Sea, and it would have been polluted for over 100 years or something like that. So they had to be quick. And yeah, bro. So they picked off some miners that knew how to mine from their fathers, who learned from theirs. Like that's the only thing they know from life, pretty much. They are very hard workers and like, how do you say, people who have a great sense of sacrifice. We learned that from the Russian people. Like that was very, very impressive. The fact that when the duty comes to your doorstep, you always welcome it and you go forth. That was crazy to me. And they were like working naked because it was super hot, 50 degrees Celsius, sweating their ball sack, right?
Mhm.
And they were like completely naked to be able to withstand that heat. It was crazy, man.
Oh, that's the crazy part about it is that they're so close to the disaster, and there's so much radiation coming towards them, and they're just naked, digging a hole in the ground.
Yes.
yeah.
While we've seen people go into the plant and being near the plant, and they are always wearing something to cover up their skin and to minimize the radiation. But these people were like, you know what, it's too hot, we're probably already dead, so they just decided to remove all clothes and just continue digging. So as you said, a very big act of courage right there.
Absolutely crazy. And they were asking for ventilators, fans. And they were like, nah, we can't give you that because it would blow dust up into the tunnel, right? And straight into your lungs. And
Yeah.
since the dust is radioactive, it would be very bad. But he was like, yeah, but isn't it already really bad? So where are the fans? And then he's like, no fans. Well, no clothes. Okay.
I had a lot of appreciation for the character, the leader of the miners,
Oh
because
yeah.
he was so straightforward and he was not taking any shit from anyone. He was like, you know what, I'm pretty sure we're already doomed, so let's just get to the bottom of this and just let's do our work and clear this out.
I really liked when he asked, "Will they be taken care of?"
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
he looks at him in the eye, instead of lying, goes, "I don't know."
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
powerful, because he could have lied there. He could have, said,
Yes.
"Yeah, yeah, everything is," but he's like, "You know what? Probably not."
That's the sad thing also. What was also striking to me was he came into the office, their first meeting, and he was like, "Does this shit work?" It was some kind of mask. And then nobody answered. He's like, it kind of reduces, and then
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
works to a certain extent.
yeah,
and
to a
then-
certain extent. And then he was like, yeah, that's why you're not wearing them, right? And then he throws it, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go and work, because we don't have time to waste.
I don't want my men to be here 1 second longer.
Yo, you remember that line was so good too.
I really love episode 3. It's finally, I find it's the episode that you finally get to breathe a bit, right? But just briefly. You just get to like, oh, okay, there you see the horizon, and then no, and then you see that there's so much shit left to do, and so much more work to do, and it's not finished. That can be finished for years and years. So, and I find the miners were funny.
Yes. So straight to the point, so incredibly cash, like we say. They were like, yeah, so you want to take us to where? Why? And he's like, this is classified information. And then they're like, yeah, we're not moving an inch. You can start shooting us if you want.
You're not going to have enough bullets.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what he
But
said.
apparently, I read that. I actually listened to the podcast there, the companion podcast, and
Yeah.
he was saying that actually, that was a bit dramatized, that
Mhm.
scene, because the minister of coal, he was a coal worker for he worked in mines for 20 years, so he was a coal. He knew what it was, right?
Yeah.
But I still like the scene, even if it was not quote true there, because I don't know. I just it was funny. It was finally just like the workers finally telling the other people to no. I have the power now.
Have we done episode 3 pretty much? Can we move on to 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like-
just want to give a big shout out to that last scene. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's in episode 3 at the end when they bury the bodies.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And they put the bodies into coffins, and then they put the coffins into metal coffins, and then they bury them in the ground, and then they pour concrete all over the coffins.
Yeah.
So, and the last shot of the concrete just going around the coffins and just being poured until it reaches the top, and you don't see anything afterwards. I think it was a beautiful shot, and it showed how much how of a big deal the situation is. How it's important that they prevent any more radiations, and that these corpses are still very radioactive, and that they're dangerous for them. So that they have to dilate them into concrete.
I was chilling. I found like seeing, like you get, I know, almost goosebumps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super creepy. Like when you think about it, it's not much different from like in times of war or great illness, where you had like common holes where you just put bodies and
Yeah.
cover it in ground. But you can't do just that. You have to take extra precautions with the firemen in that specific example that fought the fire in the reactor. They were so close to it. They were so close. They got completely destroyed by radiation. And the poor guy, I remember when he picked up graphite straight from the ground, in a couple of seconds his hand began to mutate and like completely rot. Yeah.
Yeah, well, his hand decayed, it just did like that must be so crazy because what's scary about it is you don't see it, you
Yeah.
don't. It's this invisible death, it's not like a like a sickness that it's that. I don't know how to describe. I know you still can't see, like, for example, COVID or anything, but for some reason you're able to like kind of give it a person. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, oh, it's because of that. But this thing is just like, no, it flies. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Just if you're there, you're touching it. You're
Yep.
in contact with it.
I think it's in episode 4 where they specified that there were 3 zones delimited by a certain perimeter where you could clearly detect more and more radio activity the more you got near the epicenter of the catastrophe. And yeah, it was crazy to me that they had to use tools made not for like I don't know, you'd say, yeah, industry tools, or no, for space, bro. They were using a
Yeah.
space rover, and the
Yeah, that was
space rover
crazy.
was only made for zone like the farthest or the second farthest, the one that was like at the reactor on that roof that they were trying to clean up. You couldn't put anything there. You remember when they asked Germany to give them their best machine, their best robot to remotely control it and clean up the roof?
Yeah, and it broke. It stopped working.
They dropped it on the roof, right? And he said, camera online, power online. Okay, standard test. 1 meter forward, 1 meter back. And then he does, okay, 1 meter forward, done. Now 1 meter back. Choo! No camera, no nothing, no power. Everything dies. And he's like, did we just lose the signal? Nah, we lost more than that. The whole robot died. It shredded the circuitry. That's one thing that completely baffled me. I didn't think that radiation would go into a printed circuit and erase it, degrade it, completely destroy it.
Yeah, well, because it's the size of a neutron, It's so tiny that an electric circuit is not tiny enough that it can avoid the radiation.
So it gets bombarded, right? By how
Yeah.
many Rodgens was it?
It's not
15,000.
3.6.
It wasn't 3.6, bro. 15,000, like Kyle said. Oh my god. And yeah, they asked the German, they were like, yeah, we would need about a robot capable to endure about 2,000 Rodgens. They were like, 2,000? Yo, that's pretty bad. We're gonna give you the best thing we have. And yeah, man. They dropped it 1 meter forward, dead. Way too radioactive.
Crazy. But then, so episode 4 was, yeah, so it's them doing the cleanup and you follow a young boy
Yeah.
that joins the effort to well, in his circumstance, was shoot the dogs and shoot the animals in the. I find episode 4 is very different than episode 1 to 5, right? I
Yeah,
find
agree.
it's my first viewing, it was the episode that I liked the least. But rewatch, I can't say it's my favorite episode, but I really enjoyed it better because it's just like it. I find it's, when I was saying Episode 3 is like when you take a breather. Episode 4 is when you're just like on, like, it's the calm before the storm, because when you know what happens in episode 5 and how, you know, huge that is, and how like it's like, ooh, you know, I find it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like just like it's the kind of, you know, they're just figuring out stuff, and then episode 5 is that big explosion in terms of what happens and how it's
Yeah.
presented.
Yes, because that character that is shown to us, you know, killing the dogs because they have radiation. We've never seen that guy.
Yeah.
Never.
I don't think we have, but and
No
we're not going to see him
backstory.
again.
No nothing. Right.
There's just this little segment of story that is dedicated to him, where he, you know, he goes into the city and he has to kill the dogs with a couple of guys from the Afghanistan war.
I just want to go a little bit back. Like, he was part of the regular ass city with young boys, like living
Okay, so-
their normal lives, and they get drafted.
Okay.
Right. That's the thing.
Mhm.
And no choice. And then you're sent to a division, and his was the animal control. Right.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, he was one of the civilian that was evacuated. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
So yeah,
So-
that shows you the crisis. Like, you don't have enough soldiers to do the job. You need
Yeah, they're missing people.
Nobody's-
Well, actually, it's in that episode, because you mentioned it. The German robot doesn't work; it fails because of the radiation. So they have to make the tough decision of saying, you know what, we'll have to clean it with actual workers.
with people.
Yeah, people will have to climb up the roof, and during, what is it, like 90 seconds? They have 90
Yeah.
seconds on top of the roof, and they just have to push the the debris into the reactor.
Yeah, they're like, if no robots can do it, we have to send bio robots.
Yeah,
That was so strong.
some
Fuck, that's
sad stuff.
crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Actually, in the podcast that you mentioned, they said that, you know, if this situation had happened anywhere on Earth, people would have been reluctant to, send actual people. The governments and the officials would have been reluctant to send actual civilians and soldiers or whatever, but actual people on the site to clean it up. They would
Yeah.
have done something different. But this is the thing about, the USSR. It's just different. They were able to say, let's the workers are dedicated enough to the country, and the country is willing to throw lives away. Sadly, that's how it is. But in the end, I don't think this could have happened anywhere else. I think you'd have to be in this kind of country so that the people would be willing to go up the roof and clean up with their hands and with shovels, knowing perfectly well that it would be very dangerous and that those people would die
Yeah.
in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Or
I
I think it was episode 2 when they get evacuated there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I was listening to that companion podcast, and they were saying it went well. There was no riots, no people complaining. People just did what they were told, went on the bus and left. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was imagining that happening in the U.S. No,
Oh
fuck
my
that shit.
god.
I'm not leaving here. It's my right. I'm calling my lawyer.
And people would die.
The other people just went, okay, ciao. You told me to leave, I'll leave.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, you'll eventually be able to come back, pick up your stuff. They never did. They never did. That means, I don't know what could have been left out, right? But you care about some stuff in your home. I hope so, at least some some things that you would want to bring with you. And yeah, they lied to them in order to protect them in some sort of way.
Yeah. And
About lies, we have a lot of things to say about lies, but
Yeah,
it will
that's
it will
most of
come in
4 and
episode
5.
5. Yeah.
But even 4, because 4 is where they learn all about it, where she does her investigation, Komyok,
yes.
and
No, it's
Komyuk.
Homyuk.
Komyuk. And that's where she she figures out that the RBMK reactor and how it exploded.
They were like, yeah, you have a button, the AZ5. You press this shit, everything stops. That's supposed to be how it works. But according to multiple reports and then my researches, they said they pressed it and it detonated. It's like a detonator. That's fucked up. Why? Why was it like that? And she found out because a lot was redacted from the archives. Because you know the Russians, they're always like, yeah, man, we can't let this out. Nobody can know about that. You have to do something. And she eventually found a way. Like, I don't know if you remember exactly how, but she got around understanding the fact of the matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Though it's like a final moment, when you see that she figures it out. You go like, oh,
my
okay. Like, it wasn't just human error. There's shit that because episode 1, 2, they're always saying, how can an RBMK reactor explode? It's
It's
impossible.
impossible. Yeah.
People, and that's where I guess, yes, it is their fault and everything, but they always thought that they could cancel it. At the end of the line, they couldn't reset it.
Yeah,
they could.
Dyatlov, right? He really was like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna push it. We're gonna try to do the impossible. And if it fucks up, we just press the button. It's gonna be okay.
Worst case scenario, we press the button.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly. I mean, it's a
God.
bad case scenario,
It's
but
like Jackie just said, it's the worst.
yeah, absolutely.
And it happened, bro.
Yeah, because they brought it to the brink of it. But then we can throw ourselves in episode 5.
Yes, the big reveal, explanation, and suspense moment. I don't know if it was really suspenseful because we saw at the beginning of like part 1 that he hung himself.
Yeah.
So so like I was like, did he actually tell the truth? Did he? He did. He did. It was a big moment, even if we knew kinda because of what he was talking about with Sherbina. And Sherbina, when he was dying, pretty much coughing blood and contemplating everything he has done, everything of Chernobyl, right? Talking with our main scientist. I forgot his name.
Sorry, what?
The name of our main scientist.
Legasov.
Legasov. Yeah. So we had that really cool moment between Sherbina and Legasov, right? Where it kind of clicked for him that he really had to say the truth. I think that was like the final thing that pushed him.
There?
Yeah. But before that, if you want to talk about the whole tribunal and process, so essentially, right, just to put it back on the timeline, he was invited, Legasov, as a representative in Vienna. The whole world came to listen and then share the word, and he lied. He had a golden opportunity to just say the truth and kind of force the hand of the Russian government in some way. That was what Khomyuk was recommending. That's her course of action that she would have preferred. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think it's just like what Sherbina said, right? It's like, you can talk that talk, but when it's your time to act, it's hard. It's hard to go for that. It's hard to go, yeah, I know by saying this, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? And that's, yes, he didn't get killed by the KGB or put anywhere, but I think he got a worse fate almost, right? And it's like your life changes completely after you utter these words. And I don't think he was ready then, and I don't think he was even ready that day when he got to the plant. But that I really do think it's that talk with Sherbina where he was just like, no, you gotta do it. You got, like, and I think it was just by him saying he had cancer and everything. It was just like it was just that little click in him to say, you know what, I gotta do it. If I don't do it, then I'm gonna regret it for my whole life, and I'm gonna be part of the system. I'm gonna be part of the problem.
Yeah, I think he sees with his talk with Sherbina, what he sees in him is that all the lives that were sacrificed in order to correct this big mistake, and in the end they were able to correct it, even though it cost a lot of lives, and to know that he would have to live knowing that he didn't say what he had to say in order for things like that, for an accident like that to never happen again. I think it would have bothered him, which is the least to say, but I think it would have been a huge burden for him. So he decides in the end to tell this that trial, and he doesn't go saying, well, it's all the fault of the design of the reactor. It's all because of the choices that were made by people responsible for the fabrication of the reactor. He acknowledges the responsibility of Dyatlov, because we see, I mean, in that last episode when there's the flashback of the night of the explosion, and you see how Dyatlov is
ordering around,
managing the room, ordering people around,
they're like, Professor Dyatlov, this is against the protocol. And then he slams the fucking protocols on the ground and he says, I am the most experienced, so listen to me.
Yeah, so you see how he handles the crisis is, it cannot leave you thinking, well, he's redeemable. I think after that episode, to me, it was clear that this character was not redeemable and that he should be recognized as guilty and spend at least the rest of his life in jail. Because, of course, it's not only his fault, but he had a major part in it.
He had so many opportunities to just turn back, bro, turn it around, and he never did.
Yeah, but so Legasov goes on and says, there's a flaw. There's a flaw in the reactor, and that's what caused, the last barrier of defense that Dyatlov thought was there was not actually there. Actually, it was, as you said, a detonator. So I really appreciate that, he was not there to say it's all the fault of the Russian government. He just explained everything, and then afterwards he said, well, you know what? Even though he did all of this, now you have to take responsibility. The USSR government has to take responsibility for what they've done and for the decision they're making. And it's a beautiful scene, and I'll say it right now, but this episode of Chernobyl is probably one of the best episodes of television that I've seen in my entire life. All, series combined and everything. It was so good. I liked it. I liked it a lot because everything comes together, because the choice that they made to show us the night, the explosion, and everything that led to the explosion in the last episode instead of in the first. I think it's such a great decision because it gives you time to absorb so much information about the whole situation, so that when it is explained to you and when it is shown to you, you instantly click and you get what's happening, because you've seen all the effects, and you've seen the research, and you've seen the explanation that were given to the people not understanding what was going on, like Sherbina, when he's asking to Professor Legasov the first time, how does it work, how does nuclear energy work. You don't understand all these concepts, and now you've got them all in your head, and you've seen Komyuk speak with different people working on the plant, so you've got a greater idea of how everything was working. So when it is shown to you how it exploded and how Dyatlov handled the situation, you have much more appreciation for it. And it gives that much more power to that scene where Legasov is like, you know what, actually, of course he's guilty, but that choice of taking the needles, I don't know what they were made of, but he was like, we make that choice because it's cheaper, and it's
Yeah,
like
graphite.
every decision that's graphite, exactly, it's graphite. It's like because that's how decisions are made in USSR. We just take what's cheaper. And then he goes on with the cost of lives and everything, and it just ties everything back together with that first line of the whole series. It's like, what is the cost of lie? And he ends up by saying, the cost of the reason, like Kyle's mentioned it before. This question is asked more than one time. How does the what's it called, RMK?
Yeah, RMK. No,
How does
RBMK, I think.
RBMK? So how does a RBMK reactor explode? And he just, when he delivers that line with lies, it just, I think it was
Dang.
almost perfect.
Yes.
Such a great episode. I really liked it, and it made the show. The show is great. The show is amazing, but that last episode is just like one step higher to me.
And I think it's also at the end, Legasso was saying quote after quote. And I'm like, whoa, shit! I mean, what the hell? Like, everything was quotable. Everything is. I love the phrase when he goes, every lie you say incurs a debt to the truth.
Yeah.
I love that sentence. It was like,
And
shit.
eventually you will have to pay it back.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's I find it was a fantastic episode, and it I find a lot of times I'm always disappointed, especially with stuff. The ending, I always find that sometimes they don't land it particularly well. Sometimes it's just like, it's bittersweet. Sometimes it's just meh. But this was it was great, and then it just ended great, and that's what I love about it. It's just so consistent. It's so good consistently. That's why I love the Chernobyl. I find it's perfect. Everybody can get into. You don't need understanding with it. They explain it perfectly throughout you don't need to be a fucking nuclear scientist to understand it. They make it just they explain it so well. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't.
Yeah, well, actually, that's what happens in the last episode. Is that not only do they show us like the flashback of the night of the explosion, but he brings the little model of the plant, and then afterwards there's Legasov explaining the balance of the reactor with the red and the red and blue wooden plates.
Being what brings the reactivity up, and blue what brings the reactivity down.
So it's actually very complex, physics things, physics, models and theory concepts. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, it's actual complex physics concepts, but they managed to make it simple so that you understand and you enjoy it, and it's just so well presented that you never feel lost at any point.
It's beautiful. I was enjoying the ride like crazy. It was like a roller coaster. I was like, yes, yes. And then I was like, yo, but what's the problem now? Because as he was showing, there were all the sources of high reactivity were paling in comparison of the sources to bring down reactivity. How can you explode something when you have too much of something that brings it down? And I loved the explanation.
Yeah. And like I said, I really don't think there's there's nothing that I can go, I didn't really like about it. I liked I liked everything of it. You know, like in my eyes, it's perfect or so close to perfection that I consider it perfect.
I
And
think it's very graphic. If you're somebody that like
yes,
is you're disturbed by like graphic things. By graphic, I'm talking about physical damages caused by radiation
to a
and
human body.
to a human body. Maybe naked bodies. You don't see it like they don't zoom on the private parts, but they're there. They're not censored or anything.
Well, it is HBO. And
So
HBO is known for their nudity and graphic violence.
you're for real?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
HBO is full of that. It's just naked people and blood everywhere.
Yo, okay. Well, yeah, it's not like I don't know how to say it. It's not the main focus of the series. Far from it. I think it complements it in a positive way and it only makes it better. But if you are somebody that is triggered easily by those kinds of images and yeah, cruelty with animals also, it's a big part of episode 4.
There was cruelty with animals. I don't recall that.
Uh,
I don't
Oh, you
even
mean
got
when they
it.
shoot the dogs? Oh yes, yes. When they shoot the sick dogs to save the people. Yeah. All right.
Jackie would be there with a fucking
no,
machine gun.
Yeah,
I
we were
am
like
I am not
when we
going
were
to talk about the scene where they go into the houses because I remember what he said then, and yeah, it confirms that he doesn't have a heart.
He would burn the dogs alive.
He is not heartless, bro. Actually, he is. That's what I meant. Sorry, guys.
He has no heart.
yeah, we talked about it watching the episode, but yeah, it's some graphic shit when they just dispose of all the dogs' bodies, corpses, dead. What did they put in
Oh,
the ditch or what? They just
yeah,
put it
Yeah.
in the ground, right?
Yeah, and
yeah.
then they put cement over it.
Yeah, yeah, because you gotta
That's
stop the
what
radiation.
you gotta do. What you gotta do.
Yeah, so yeah, for that there's some graphic shit, but it I don't think it's ever like too much. I think it's always relevant. I think it's always done in good taste. As shocking as it may seem, I think it's all they don't abuse of it. They're not they're not just using like I mean every scene where they kill a dog, they never show you like the dog just getting shot. They take like the alive dog and then they switch it with like
A
what's it
prop.
called? Yeah, a
Yeah,
prop.
or you see them like fall or something, but you don't see like their head explode.
Yeah,
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 exactly. It's not like Tarantino style.
yeah. They don't show you the extreme, like
No, and I think that you mentioned the damages to the bodies of the people in the hospital that were victims to the
Yo, it was
radiation.
bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's very graphic and it's horrifying to see, but I think it's something that people have to see because it's so distant from us because
Yes,
once again it's something that we're not very used to because it's not like getting burned, it's not like getting shot when
getting
you see it in
cut.
movies, it's not like getting cut, it's something very specific and the way it destroys your body is it's unbelievable. I mean they
I
turn
have
yellow and
never seen this. Never.
yeah.
It was
It's
the first
horrifying
time,
stuff.
and I was shocked.
Nasty.
I
Yep.
really was like, bro, if I want to inflict a disgusting death to somebody, I would send them to Chernobyl, bro.
Yeah. And I just want to say this because when we watched, I don't know which episode it is, but at one point, the wife of one of the firefighters, she arrives at the hospital, and the doctor is like, uh, just like stay on the other side of the plastic film,
Yes.
just don't touch him. And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And as soon as she gets in, like she hugs him and everything, and then she's going to stay beside him. And at the end, we
Until
know
the
that she's
very
pregnant.
last moment,
Yeah, until he dies.
she was like,
And when
I
I
don't
was
want to
watching,
leave
I
him
was
to
like,
die alone. And I was like,
yeah,
yeah, this is how do you say, a faithful woman right there.
yeah, 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 and well, I mean, she was pregnant, and her baby died because it absorbed the radiation. And I'm very glad at the end it was written that she managed to have another baby, which I think it's quite incredible, considering that she was exposed to all the radiation.
And she was like said by the doctors that it completely ruined her reproductive
Yeah,
system. Like no chance that she would have another baby.
yeah. But yeah, I'm very happy that she managed to have a baby. But when I was watching this scene, I was thinking, and I think you heard me, guys, but I was thinking to myself, she's so dumb for doing this.
Yeah,
And it's
you had that position. I remember.
yeah, because the doctor just told you don't touch him because he's full of radiation and everything, and she goes like, "Oh yeah, right." And as soon as she steps in, she's like, "Hi, honey, how are you?" And she just grabs him and she kisses him, everything. But that reaction, I had the same one when they go up the roof, the workers to clear out the debris, and one of the guys says, "Don't look down the reactor,"
Yes.
and he's going to throw, I think, 3 debris inside the reactors, and every single time he looks down and he's like, "What's down there?" And he's just looking down, and every time I was like, "You were just told not to do that. Why are you doing that?" And I was very harsh with them, but it got me thinking that these people, they were living inside the USSR, and at that time, I don't think it was as known as it is today. Today, that radiations are dangerous and everything, but those people didn't know. I mean, the people that saw the explosion were staying on the side of the fucking bridge, just
The
watching the
death
explosion.
bridge.
Yeah, death bridge. Everyone dies at the end, but they're just watching it because they don't understand it. They don't know what it is. I think I was harsh with them during the watching. I was like, "Oh God,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
they didn't
Like you
know."
said, it's harsh because it was the first time it ever happened on planet Earth.
Yeah, yeah. So it's it's not their fault. They're told that there's something that's going to kill us, but they're like, well, I don't see it. I don't smell it. I don't feel bad. I just feel fine. So yeah, I think it's very sad because they didn't know how it worked. They didn't know. They were very ignorant of the situation. I don't blame them for that, and that's why I think it's you know this is like what's horrifying about this whole situation is that you have this killer in the air and you don't even know it because you cannot see it and you've never heard about it, and it just kills everything in its path.
Hmm.
So yeah, but in the end, great series. I don't know if some people haven't done their whole homework, but if you're listening to this, I urge you to go watch that
I,
series. I definitely
I got
recommend
my man Show Rose, a moderator in the chat, hooked up
it.
with the series. He was like, "Oh, physics, it's over, man. I'm interested." So we have somebody that will check it out. Shout out to you,
Oh
Show.
well. Oh well. Thanks for listening, Shorose. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Of course, it's not like as we said earlier. It's pretty simplified so that you understand. But there's a little bit of physics involved because they're explaining the whole radiation process and everything. So yeah, it's definitely a watch. It's not on Netflix. I'm seeing your comments there. It's not on Netflix. It's on Crave because it's HBO. So yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, let's keep the audio clean of what I typed in the chat because we don't want to be mixed with with some things that the naughty boys do. So we're good
Yeah.
boys here.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes. I don't even know what that word means. I yeah, never heard of it.
Never, yes, of course.
No, it's not. No, you have to get a subscription at Crave and then you watch it legally. Like, I don't think there's another way. I think you can just buy it, or I think it's over you. There's no other way to watch it.
Pretty much.
So yeah.
We have reached the 1 hour mark. It's been a very fun time discussing Chernobyl with you guys. I very much appreciated the series, and I wanted to thank Kyle for his recommendation.
Well, you're
Oh yeah,
welcome. I'm
big
glad.
thank you to
I'm
Kyle.
glad you guys enjoyed it.
It really was like very special to us and unique. I think that you knew while you were thinking about what you should recommend next that this is unlike anything we could have seen before.
Absolutely. I find it's you know, I had re-seen a scene on the internet. And I'm like, oh shit, I really need to make you guys watch it.
I'm glad you did, bro. I'm glad you did. Now it's up to part two and the review. Like every week, we usually review audio visual things, be it anime movies, be it actual movies from Hollywood. Maybe next time we should review something from Bollywood, you know? Huh? No? But yeah, this.
I think we're only going to review good stuff. If you want bad stuff, you can do another podcast with that shit. But I think here
Oh
it's better to keep it.
no!
I've
Oh
watched a
no!
couple of Bollywood movies there, and there's a couple. There's one or two that I enjoyed. There's of course there are some that are garbage, but
Well, yes, so as I said, usually movies, but since last episode where I couldn't decide on which thing to recommend, either an album or a video game, I chose to do both. I was greedy like that. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, I recommended you guys to listen and take notes to Random Access Memory, which is the very last album Daft Punk ever did. We didn't know it was the last. We thought it was the latest. But when they separated recently, there was no going around the bush, you know. It is what it is. It's over. So this is what they left us with, and it holds even more significance to me now. And I hope that I can hear you guys' thoughts on your experience listening to the album.
yeah. So I actually watched it. Watched it. I've been watching so many movies. I listened to it today, actually,
Yeah?
during my lunchtime, and I had a little Word document, and I wrote every single song, and I wrote my thoughts on those songs. So my initial reaction and
Did you do something similar, Jackie?
No, I didn't do something similar. I forgot that you said we had to take notes, so I didn't take notes. But I've got everything in my memory, so I'll use
Okay,
it like
okay.
that.
So, thanks to Kyle and to Wikipedia on my side, we're going to start chronologically with track number one, Give Life Back to Music. So it sounded a little bit like let the music give you life. Na 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 na. Give life back to music, right? It sounded a little bit like that. And it had a superb guitarist in it called Nile Rodgers. I don't know if you guys know this guy.
no.
Maybe I don't know. He's famous for something.
Nile Rodgers is an American guitarist, and he is an absolute legend. He sold more than 500 million units and 75 million singles. So if you guys don't know him, you know, he is a big name in the industry and relatively old school. So they went ahead and got him to play, and they got also Paul Milton Jackson Jr., who is a composer, producer, arranger, and guitarist, American too. And yeah, man, they got them both, plus our bass duo, right? The gray robot and the golden robot. By the way, if you didn't know, the gray robot is Thomas Bangalter, and the gold robot is Guillaume Emmanuel de Homem Christo.
Holy shit,
Wow.
those are big names, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think he comes from some kind of royalty, or I don't know, because that last name, man, you're not someone ordinary with that last name. So, yeah, uh, what did you think? An opening to an album with a title as such as Give Life Back to Music, very jazzy, very heavy on the guitar, with some.
So I can say when we go through the songs, I'll be able to read what I wrote.
Yeah.
This is actually the one that I wrote the least about.
Uh huh.
So I think I was just starting. I said good start track, fun, upbeat, good head bob. So
Good.
so I like the song. It was like I said, just it I didn't find it how you call it this life-changing song, but it was a good opening start. You know, you get to figure out, because I don't listen to albums a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
You know, I do have a couple albums that I like to listen from start to finish, because I find it goes well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a bit out of my depth, let's say, in criticizing
Complete albums, yeah.
complete albums, because, like I said, I've never done it. I rarely do, and if I do, I rarely do. So I like the song. Like I said, I didn't find anything like holy shit, it's life changing, but
Yeah, yeah.
it was enjoyable. And like I said, I was having a little, head bump going with it.
Nice. I mean, the guitar riff was amazing. Like when it started, like no 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 no
You see,
no.
I haven't listened to it enough
Oh,
to
it was
being
so
able
good, bro.
to know exactly what I forget, like the song in my head there.
And yeah, how it starts, right? Pa-da-pa, with the guitar in the background.
Yeah, I'm listening to it right now.
It's so good, bro. I can't put it because of copyright, right? Because you know how
Yeah.
it is. But you guys really should go and check it out. Give life back to music, like Kyle said, a very good opening to an album, yeah, according to me, of course. What about you, Jackie? Jackie.
Think he might be off the hook.
Yeah, man, I think he might have had technical difficulties, so yeah, I'm just gonna add a little something, right? When
Yo.
Oh yes, here
Yo,
you
the
are.
Wi-Fi crashed. I'm so sorry about that, but it's okay. I'm back on.
Let's go. Where did you lose us?
I lost you when Kyle was saying, he didn't remember, he didn't know it by heart. You were, doing the impression of the guitar riff.
Okay, so you didn't miss much. Okay, good. I finished by saying that I really think it's a good opening soundtrack, and I wanted to hear your thoughts.
Okay, so me, it's going to be a bit harsh because I'm not a fan of electronic music. That's like the first thing.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not a big fan of it. The second thing is that
which
I'm
it's
really
not,
not
right.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
for
okay. So
this part. This is the first part. The second part is that I'm really not a fan of artificial voices that
yeah,
sound like
which it has, it does.
yeah, and it just keeps going on a loop. So like this song is not horrible, but the thing I don't like about it, no, I'll restart. The things that I don't like about it is that first it sounds repetitive. It's like what? It's like a 4-minute song where the rhythm doesn't change, apart from
Doesn't
like
change much. Yeah,
there's like one part where it changes a bit, but it's pretty much the same riff, and it just goes on and goes on, and there's like that loop of the robot voice going on with the lyrics, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So like Kyle said, I think it's a good opening song. I mean, you're like, okay, this is what we're going to propose to me. Okay, I can start with that, but there's nothing really interesting about it that I wouldn't listen to it if it wasn't at the start of the album.
I
I
see
don't think
what you
there's
mean.
I don't think there's anything very special.
And I
This is
totally, that's what I wanted to hear, right? Some different opinions, right? What do you guys think? So yeah, what did you want to add?
What I want to add is that for music, I have issues, I think, with music because um, when it comes to movies, when it comes to video games, when it comes to books, I think I'm more unable to have discussions about taste and how things are structured. But when it comes to music, there's something with my brain that I don't like the music I'm hearing, it just go in that trash bin instantaneously,
No
and
redeeming features.
I cannot do anything about it. So I'm very picky about music, and
Okay, I see, I see. So
that's something.
you would say that the lack of diversity in the rhythm and the robotic voices took you out of the enjoyment.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that the music is it sounds to me like that kind of elevator music that you keep in the background. It
I
doesn't
see.
sound like something that you put up front because I don't see a particular melody. I don't see something. I don't. There's nothing interesting in that in that first song of the album.
It is very curious to me because they titled it "Give Life Back to Music" and it has
Mhm.
a phrase in it which is "Let the music give you life." Right? It's tied to that sentiment that the more we progressed in the music industry, the more it became plasticky. It didn't feel real. It began to feel lifeless. I
Mhm.
think that was their message, and that was their choice behind the instruments behind it, who they chose to associate with, and yeah, and the lyrics, right? Even though they're very simplistic, the message is very loud and clear. So
Yes, maybe. I mean, if the messages say, well, you hear like what you're hearing right now is the music that we dislike. I think, yeah, maybe then the message is good, and we're like,
you see, that's the opposite, right? They were trying to get back in touch with real instruments, real musicians, real everything to make
hmm
it feel real, and it seems that
yeah.
it failed miserably to you.
I think for the first song, yeah, but I can reassure you right now, I'm just going to hate every song on this album from this point on. I think there are some good songs on that album, but we'll get
Okay,
to that.
for me it bugs. So I heard I'm gonna hate on every song of this album. I was like, okay, like
Okay,
there
this
is
is
songs
gonna
that I
be
didn't like, but god damn, all of them.
Yeah, no, this is where we're going right now. I'm going to hate every song of this album, complete trash, and yeah, you'll hear my opinion. Don't worry about it. You can
woo.
just go on, just see.
Okay, okay. So track number two, "The Game of Love."
So I wrote, do not particularly love this song. It's meh, quite
It's
slow in some areas of the track when no vocals.
yeah.
The vocals were also mediocre. The hook was annoying.
Okay. Writers, the duo, just the duo. This was a track made 100% by the Daft Punk duo. So, and you, Jackie, what did you think?
I think it was slow. If I remember, it was slow. It
Yeah,
was
on purpose. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, on purpose. And I think there's also a voice again in that one.
yeah, it is. It's with voice, and the lyrics go, "This is a game of love. This is a game of love." And it
Yeah,
was
I didn't
you,
like it.
right?
I
And it
didn't
was
like it. Yeah.
you, the
No, no.
one
All
that
right. All right. All right.
right? It talks about the game of love, which some people are more or less familiar with, and the different dynamics that can go into that game, and the fact that sometimes it's not, it doesn't last forever, and a party decides to call it quits, and sometimes it's against the how do you say, the will of the other party. So you're like, yeah, man, that fucking sucks. I'm feeling heartbroken. And yeah, it talks about that.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've done like two songs right now. I think the first one, "Give Life Back to Music," is better than this one.
Yeah,
And you've seen,
musically, right?
yeah, musically, of course.
In
I'm,
terms of instruments, in terms of melody, in terms of.
I preferred like the first one. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't have a lot to say about this one. I just think it was slow. I mean, the first one was like, okay, it's good. It's the opening. Let's go. But the second one, I was like, nah. If I had the album and it was playing in the car, I would probably skip that song.
You'd skip it, okay. Number
So, yeah.
3, Giorgio by Moroder. It was composed, written, my bad, by the Daft Punk duo and Giovanni Giorgio Moroder. What did you guys think about track number 3?
So yet again, I'll read what I wrote. I said, love the beginning of the song, super unique. Love the song title, it had me hooked in. Even though there's no lyric, just music and a bit of Giorgio talking. The song has a couple different sub-songs in it.
Mm-hmm.
It goes so long. I love the concept. I think when I started the album, the first one I was like, okay, it's good. It's a Daft Punk song, right?
Yeah.
Second one, I just found it like I didn't find anything special of it. You know, there's some stuff that annoying. But this one, when I started, I saw 9 minutes. I go, fuck, right? What happens if I don't like this and I have to listen 9 minutes of this crap? I said, okay, I'll give it I'm listening. And then it starts. He's talking. I'm invested. And then music goes in, and it's like, ooh, okay. I like the beat. I found it was. And we'll talk about my opinions on slower songs in the next one.
Yeah.
The next song, but I really liked it. It was my favorite song from the first 3. It was what I was like, okay, because I was getting a bit scared. I was like, maybe I don't like that funk that much. But then, when this one came in, it really went like, okay, I really liked it, and it was like I said, unique, and not much more than I can say to it. Then I enjoyed it.
What about you, Jackie?
All right, this one also, I agree with Kyle. I think I liked it a lot compared to the 2 others, and it's definitely like the best one of the 3 first songs. I just liked how it's built up, how they just start slowly, and it progressively incorporates instruments more and more until you reach the climax at the end. And it's something that's subjective as the choice of notes, but I like the arrangement of notes. The instrument, of course, I'm not a big fan of the everything that uses electronic music like synthesizer, but
yeah,
it was fine. I mean, it wasn't horrible, and just because they made a good choice in building this musical score for 9 minutes, and it just keeps on building up and picking up pace until it reaches the climax. I respect that, and I found it was pretty good.
I think that you guys understood by the length, by the lyrics, which is more a story than it is a lyric. It is some kind of documentary of one of the pioneer of electronic music, this man that nobody knows, it seems, Mr. Giorgio Moroder. And it's impressive how they managed to...
Yeah, he explains a bit his thought process of creating music right at the beginning.
Which I believe, right, when I heard it, I was like, this must be some of the shit Jackie hates the most ever. If somebody tells him his view on music like that, I think he would call them musically alienated.
I mean, I don't remember exactly what he said. You know what I got from what he said? I've got that he talked about discotheques in Germany.
Yes,
that's what I remember about it. But if you could just remind me what he was saying about music, maybe I'll.
So yeah, quickly his story, right? 69, 70 in Germany. The guy just finishes school, and finally, like he said, it was kind of shackles for him that restrained him from making the thing he loved the most in this life, which was music. And once he freed himself from that, he hopped on a car and worked on his music and went to discotheques, sleeps in his car, rinse and repeat. He had about like a handful of songs and all, and he was like, you know what? The next thing I will do is going to be something that incorporates the sound of the future. And he talks about the process behind trying to capture what in 69 and 70 was the sound of the future. And yeah, he was talking about synthesizer, about syncing, technical terms of syncing things to a certain rhythm, and like how he went about that idea. And they took his like core like trademark and built like and put it in the whole song, right? Which is the melody, the marauder melody that we hear through the whole song, and composed around it and added violins, added percussions, added like so much. Like Kyle said, it's an evolutive song. It progresses into something that you couldn't have thought it was going to be in the beginning. And yeah, he says in a part, he begins and says, when you free your mind about harmony and music sounding correct, it is only then that you can like truly express yourself musically.
Yeah.
And that's how he found solace and success.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb.
You see, that's what that's what I was saying, right? Because for Jackie, there is no such thing as freeing yourself from harmony, and because if you free yourself from that, your music is automatically trash.
It's not automatically, but
Automatically.
I don't think it's the right way. I'm more a fan of acoustic music and not electronic music, so that's a taste for me. But when it comes down to composing, I don't think it's the right choice to thinking that you're free and that you can do whatever you want. You have to respect certain order of rules in order for your music to be appreciated correctly, in my opinion. But
I mean, you can see that you're wrong, though. He had great success doing that.
I mean, good for him. If dogs can listen to music,
Oh my god. He gave life to such a big part of the industry, so I mean, you can be mad all you want about this process of thinking and making music, but just know that the artist within him
yeah,
had this as inspiration and how do you say, something that clicked in his head to move on to the next level.
yeah. I mean, that's basically that's what if I'm being honest, I'm just like, he's an artist. He was true to his way of writing and composing, so I respect that. But to me, I don't agree with him. But who am I to criticize? I'm just it's just appreciated the album. So yeah, that's basically what I think about that song.
Okay, good. So Giorgio by Marauder, by far the best of the first 3 tracks for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it's Kyle's turn of technical difficulties, but
No, I'm still
okay,
here,
okay, good.
letting you guys speak.
Okay.
I was waiting for an answer, but I was like, okay, no problem. We'll move on.
No, sorry, it's just that my cat was also gnawing at my feet there, so I was trying to get her to back off.
Track number 4, boys. Within. That's a track that was composed by the Daft Punk duo, right? But also with Jason Chili Gonzalez Beck. He is Canadian, and he is currently based in Cologne, Germany. And yeah, man, classical piano composition. That's the kind of guy you're trying to, like, the portrait, the portrait, the formation, the. So, what did you guys think about Within?
All right, I'll read again. Said, I didn't dislike it, just didn't find it super compelling. The beginning had my interest, then it lost it quite fast. it may seem that I like less Daft Punk songs that are not upbeat. I find the heavy auto-tune voice doesn't mix super well with slow ballads. Kind of takes you out of the song.
That's very interesting.
And after listening to everything, I think Within is my least favorite song out of the whole album.
Oh my god. Incredible. Okay. What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, I have a similar opinion. I think that Within was it was no, it wasn't. It was good at the beginning. I thought it was going someplace, but it went somewhere else. And as Kyle said, when you just have the auto tune voice that comes into play, it diminishes a lot the quality of the song, and
This
that's
is
why like
incredible.
overall I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. But it's I don't I think to me it's better than the Game of Love because at least it has something interesting in it, which is the beginning with the piano and everything, and it's just afterwards that it just fucks up. But at the beginning, it's pretty good.
I'm very, very disturbed because it's one of my favorite songs of the album, especially because of the lyrics, right? It's a song that speaks about what's within us and the fact that we're always looking for something, but rarely do we actually do the introspection, the true introspection necessary to just take a step back and look within. It's absolutely a banger for me. It might be slow, it might be robotic, but it feels extremely humane and
Truth
thematically, it's incredible.
truth be told, most of the time where you have like these robot voices or tuned voices, I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. Like most of the time, this is what happens.
You can't be serious.
So I just skip. I'm like, all right, this must not
Oh,
be so
this is
important because
so sad, man. Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
if the voice is has to sound like a fucking trash can, like why do I have to listen to what they're saying? If it was really important, they would actually sing it like normal people. But no, they have to sing it like they.
No, the thing is, right? It's always about artistic vision because they have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
means to hire a singer. They can do that, but they believe that the point of these slow ballads, like Kyle described them, uh, is to convey through the lyrics, through the instrumentation and the composition, a certain mood, and complement it with that robotic voice that is so unnatural, like you guys said. But at the same time, it's spitting straight facts. You're like, this is very, very humane. And yeah, man, there's a place within me that I can't understand. I really think that it and how it conjugates with the piano and all. I think it's impressive. I don't know. It impressed me. Within was an impressive track to me.
All right. Well, it's
I find it funny because now that I know that every time you hear those robotic voices, you guys tend to not even listen to what they say. I don't know how they're like. Most of them, I think we got through. Yeah, we mostly got through. I think so.
y- yeah. No, it's just it's if I don't understand it on the first try, I'm not going to go read up the lyrics. I'm just not going to try. I'm this is basically my thought process. But
But
I mean, at the
I
beginning,
don't know how you don't understand though. You understand
no, but
English?
no, but what I'm no, but what I'm saying is that in the first songs, of course, you can understand what they're saying, but it's more after. It's specifically in this song. I remember that it was kind of cloudy.
Yeah, to be
Okay.
honest, like I said, I tried to, but it was just I don't know how to explain it. It was just like yeah, you get well, I'm re-listening to it right now and you get words and everything, but it's I find the auto tune is so much, and I don't mind auto tune. I like Daft Punk. I've listened to a lot of their music and it's good, right? But the thing is, here it's for me, right? Experience
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
slow songs. It's a slow song, and then they talk and whatever. But here was just it's slow, and then there's this robotic voice that comes in, and it's auto-tuned to 110%. You know, it's more than it is usual, and well, that's the feeling I got. Maybe it's a contrast because it's a slow song that I could hardly pay attention to what was saying because I was annoyed by the so heavy, like the
No, it's
400
comical.
times.
Yeah, it's comically
Exactly.
auto-tuned. Yeah,
Now
yeah.
maybe that was their intention, and if it was, well, good. But I didn't like this song. It was like I said, it was I find it just the combination of autotune to a normal ballad, like a slow song, I
Yeah.
find doesn't work. I find it works incredibly well when you have this upbeat, fun, and
Yeah, we're coming to it, right? I think that I know what you guys will say about track number 8. I will not even name it, but yeah, man.
yeah, but that 8 I hardly even I listened to it all, but I didn't focus on it because I knew it well. You know, I wanted to learn the other songs that I wasn't aware of.
So I understand what you mean. You're like, yeah, it's slow. They insist on some notes, right? Like when they're like in Within, when the lyrics go, "I need to know now. Please tell me who I am."
For me,
Right?
it's when he's going. I've been for some time. I just
Looking
I
for
don't
someone, right? It's like, oh my God, what is this? It comes from a can, like Jackie said, right? But
I find it's the
yeah,
that is
yeah, yeah.
auto tune that I hate.
I think it's basically this. They wanted some notes. They got to those notes using technology, right? With voices that are comically edited to sound like robots. And it worked. To me, like, I don't know how to better explain it. It is robots singing at the right notes to tie with the, like, musically with the rest. So it might be distracting because it's not humans, right? And it's very unnatural. But it is what it is, you know. They want you to have that impression of robots, right? And then we can, I think, move on to track number 5, which is Instant Crush, featuring Julian Casablancas. Yeah, pretty much the Daft Punk duo and Julian Casablancas added on top of that. Did you have any notes on that one?
Yeah, so I wrote yet again a slow song. Not my favorite, however, I really liked the beat and Julian. I said his verses were enjoyable, but chorus I didn't like.
Yeah, he goes fast in that chorus.
Yeah, and then I said the way they sped up his singing, or he sped up his singing, I didn't like it. But the whole song I enjoyed, but I didn't like the chorus because I found that speeding up was too distracting. It took me out of the song. I was like enjoying it, like the beat, everything, and then he was. I was like, whoa, what the hell is happening? But the rest, I really enjoyed it. Like when he goes, no, 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 I was like, what the fuck did you just say, buddy? And I was like, that took me out of it. But the rest of the song I enjoyed.
What about you, Jackie?
Yes. So you're on what's it?
Instant Crush, track number 5, Julian Casablancas. Like I said, starts slow, and then when the chorus arrives, pam 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 pam, and he begins speeding his ass off like la 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 la. He goes very, very fast.
I
despised it.
No. Maybe it's gonna sound weird, but this song gives me Last Christmas vibes.
What? I know why. And it's in the composition. Because the part I just sang, if you deconstruct it or re-listen to it, it's about the same thing, bro. I don't know. It sounds the same, like he said.
I don't know why, but it just gave me those vibes, and that's why I don't really like that song. It's a bit of the same as the Game of Love. It's just that song that I would just skip. I wouldn't listen to it if I had the album
Yeah,
in the
it's
car.
5 minutes 37. It's not a short song.
Yeah, and it's not bad. I mean, it's just I don't like how it sounds, and I don't like the rhythm. It sounds like some pop Christmas song. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of
the-
the songs
I
that
don't have a lot to
last
say about that.
Last Christmas is a great song. I don't,
This is where
okay,
you want to go,
okay,
Kyle.
okay,
This is one
okay.
you want to defend right now.
yeah,
Last Christmas.
I'll die on the hill.
It's not even.
Well, you see, that's why we want to review music too, because
If there
tastes
was
are really different.
like if there was like one good song, like one good Christmas song per day during the month of December, I mean, you would have to wait the whole fucking year before you hear Last Christmas in my list.
Ooh,
No, it's okay. You know,
365th in his
some
list.
people have lower taste in music. I'm not gonna judge. It's okay.
Okay, okay.
I bet you listen to Mariah Carey. I bet you're like.
Of course I do.
Who
I mean,
doesn't, bro? She spams the radio every December.
I
No.
swear, every time she comes on the radio, I just change the channel. I love Christmas
No,
music,
no.
but every time I hear that song, I'm like, change
Anyway,
the channel.
we'll go back to Daft Punk, but just before it, I agree with you that a lot of these songs are overplayed, so you don't get to enjoy them. But
Mhm.
I don't listen to radio. I listen to my Spotify and my Christmas playlist. I do have it, but I try to limit myself. But listening it once every December, you know what I mean? Like I don't overplay them because that's when it becomes bad.
Yeah,
Anyways,
pretty much.
go
Yeah,
on.
I agree with that.
Track number 6,
Lose
Lose Yourself to Dance, featuring Pharrell Williams.
So
the Daft
I
Punk
wrote
duo, right? Plus Pharrell
I have
Williams.
Pharrell. So I wrote Loved It, my favorite song yet. It's catchy, the beat is fun. I was catching myself swaying to the song. The come on in super autotune was annoying the first time I heard it. But when the Daft Punk was mixing many of those come on and it was morphing into this weird but very cool sound. So at one point he's
Yes.
using the come on, but they're like mixing it. I really enjoyed it. I found it was unique.
Yes.
And I said I'm a sucker for clapping. Maybe it's a cheap trick, but it works so well here when they're clapping.
What about you,
I
Jackie?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Kyle. I think it's when you're up to that point, I think it's the best song on the album. It's definitely like a change of beat, if I dare to say, in terms of music. So it's pretty catchy. I like it. I'm not a big fan of Pharrell Williams, but some of his songs I like a lot because he has this R&B type of voice that goes
Yeah.
well with the style that we're going for in this album. So I think it mixes well. Again, the autotune voice it just keeps bugging me, but in this one you can get past it because you got Pharrell Williams and the beat is pretty good, and so it's not that bad. I mean, in that one, and it's in overall, it's not only like a good song for the album. I think it's a good song in general. I really liked it.
Well, I think it became a single, right?
Yeah, maybe it did. I don't know.
It is. This and Get Lucky, right?
Or the two
Yep.
that made singles.
Yup.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about it.
And what can I say about Lose Yourself to Dance? To me, Lose Yourself to Dance is how do we say? It moves itself. It removes itself from track 1 to 5 in terms of the themes. Now we moved on. We're not about much of the. It's another aspect of the emotional. How can we say? The different emotional. I think it's a. I don't know if you guys can agree with me, but I think it's a very emo album. It's very, very emotional. It goes and tries to scratch things about heartbreaks with Game of Love. It goes and scratches something about passion and passion with Giorgio by Moroder. It goes and scratches something about the depression and trying to find yourself in life with within. Instant Crush, same things, very emotional. And then you come to Lose Yourself to Dance. I know that it's really a dance music. It's something
Yeah.
about two people dancing, enjoying their time. And I love these songs too. Like proof of that is in Discovery. You have a song called Digital Love, and Digital Love is one of my favorite songs in that album. But the thing is, all of these songs in that album are one of my favorites. So what does it count for? I don't know. Yeah, that's Lose Yourself to Dance. Touch to me is going back to something very emotional, something very deep. It's featuring Paul Williams and the Daft Punk duo. He is an American composer, singer, songwriter, actor. Yeah, he's old-fashioned, and I don't know, man. His style fits very well what they were trying to do to me. But what about you guys?
So I wrote weird start, the Star Wars sounds, and the weird voice speaking, but kind of enjoy it, expecting a beat drop after that slow wound up, but got caught by some slow singing by Paul Williams. I loved it. Different sounds very David Bowie-ish. Love the jazzier vibe to the song. Long song clocking in at 8 minutes. However, never looked at the song length. Kept me interested through the whole way. The piano is also very soothing.
Let's
So,
go.
so this is because I already had heard. I'll tell you, the only two songs I had heard from this album were "Lose Yourself to Dance" and "Get Lucky."
Yeah.
I hadn't heard any other one. And "Touch" was my favorite song that I hadn't listened to before.
Okay.
I
Okay.
knew "Lose Yourself to Dance." I always enjoyed it before hearing it, and "Get Lucky" also. Put those two aside. It was the first one that I was
Surprised.
surprised and I could see myself listening to over again. I wouldn't. I would be able to listen to it and go like, yeah, I really like this song.
It's amazing, bro. That part where it gets so emotional, where he's like, "Touch, sweet touch, you've almost convinced me I'm real. Tell me something more. Tell me something more." I'm like, oh, Paul Williams, you got me, bro.
Yeah, the ending, the last few lines were very, very good. I'll go on just starting by saying like this is my favorite song on the album.
Oh,
I
let's go. I
Yeah,
knew that this one would do a
I,
big
and
effect.
I'm now far away from saying that like I think just Get Lucky. We'll talk about Get Lucky and everything next there, but I think it's close to my number two for sure. Easy.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the song.
I just now that you've mentioned David Bowie, I was like, yeah, that's right. Me, you know what I was going to say? I
I
want to say
had
like
a
when
I when I listened to it, I looked at the guy I was like, I was just listening to it, right? I had my eyes
Mhm.
closed, trying to take in all the sounds, and then I heard him sing, and then I let it play for a bit. I'm like, holy shit, is this David Bowie? And I'm like,
Yeah, well, it sounds a bit like him, and it sounds like one of the singers in Pink Floyd. I think maybe Roger Waters in some
yeah,
of the albums where they're speaking like in the wall, where it sounds a bit like like what's it called, like a musical. The way
yeah.
people sing in a musical. That's what it reminded me of.
Mhm.
and I like that. And then it goes up the beat, and then it goes up and goes up, and then it stops, it slows down, and then it goes towards the ending with uh, love is the answer.
Yeah.
And me, I'm a big fan. I have a soft spot for people singing together. What's it called? Like a
Duets.
no, not a duet,
Corals?
like chorals. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it, I don't. Is it the right term? I'm not sure,
I
but
believe it is. Yes.
it is.
Choir, or yeah.
Choir, maybe.
A
No.
choir, yeah, a choir, yeah. That's the right one. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I have a soft spot for choirs. I like this the way it sounds. No matter what notes they're singing.
Like me with the clapping.
Yes, a weak spot.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much the same. So when it just like it replaces the shitty auto-tune robotic voices and you have like the fire just coming in, it really make me feel happy. I really liked it. And I think it's the song that they used in their the video that they posted at
No.
the end of. Yeah,
No,
I
I
think,
don't
yeah.
think it is.
I'm sure it is.
I
I'm
am.
sure it is.
I
At
think
the end,
at the
the end of the
very
video,
end. Yes.
yeah, when he's walking towards the sun, it's the one that's
Yes.
used because
Yes.
it reminded me of that scene. And
Yes.
since I don't
Yes.
know a lot
At the
about that
very
one,
end, it is. Yes.
What are we talking about?
The way they officialized their separation was through a video clip on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, and it ends on a sunset with touch.
yeah, and to me it was not only a great song for the album, it was a great song overall. I really liked it. I put on Spotify I put a liked just beside it.
Yeah,
So
there is only 4 songs that Jackie liked on Spotify, so this is the 5th one. It's huge. It's huge for him.
yeah, you've got all these people who having like songs on Spotify, and they've got like that list of 300 songs, and me I have like 4 of them. Now that's the 5th one.
Mhm.
So if you
Well,
make it
shit,
on
I was
that
gonna
list,
say I have like 500.
yeah, well, this is well when you don't recognize quality, take whatever you can. I guess that's how it works.
Mhm.
Dang, son. That's a different face of Jackie that you guys are seeing. Music Jackie is wild, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I have to calm down because I'm getting too wild with music. It's just like I said, if I don't like it, it's just I love it or I hate it. There's no like in between. I'm too extreme for that. But yeah, so Touch was amazing. I really liked it, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely a highlight of the album. And then you move on straight from that very emotional song to
Yeah, like
2015's most played, most heard song of the year, the summer hit.
2015.
Yeah, it was. I am pretty
Yeah,
damn sure.
it's okay. I believe you.
Oh, I'm not sure actually. It was I think it was 2013, bro. 2015 is too recent.
Oh yeah, 2013.
Yeah,
May
yeah.
17,
Yeah, yeah.
7 years ago.
I
Yeah,
remember because we were like, yo, the Daft Punks are rumored to be working on an album, right? And then they were like, yo, I don't know if it's true, if it's not. And then they put like 60 seconds of Get Lucky.
yeah, I remember that. Seeing the video there.
The fucking hype, bro. Everybody was flipping their shits. They were like, oh my fucking god, this is so good. And yeah, they knew that with Get Lucky, bro, they will make some big money. What did you guys think of the song?
So I wrote actually. What can I say? Amazing song, so simple, but it works so well. You can't help to move your head and sing with Farrell. There's nothing that I dislike with the song. It's my favorite song of the album. Might be some bias because having some nostalgia attached to the song, but I don't care. I love it.
Yes. What about you, Jackie?
With all my heart, I hate that song so much that
Oh.
when I listened to the album, I skipped it. I was like, I
Oh.
know you, and I know that I know that I hate you, so I will just skip it right now.
We're up all
And
night for good fun. We're up all night to get
Mhm.
some.
so it's repetitive, it's boring. There's nothing interesting about it. And
We're up all
let
night
me,
to get
I'll say,
lucky.
yo, I'll acknowledge this. I'm pretty sure I'm biased since I've heard that song so many times, on the radio and everything that I just hate it. I'm like, this is like some pop shit fucking
Yeah, but
music that you play on and on the radio. I don't want to hear one thing about this, and then I would just like change the channel, and then it's over. I dislike that song so much that every time I hear it, I just cannot enjoy it anymore.
I think it's just so fun. I didn't hear it. I heard it enough in 2013, and I haven't listened to much of it since. But I found it's just it's such a fun song, right? I know it's repetitive. I know there's nothing new to it, but it works. It works so well.
Bro,
It's
did you
just
hear the music, the melody? It's awesome, bro.
Trash can.
How can you
uh,
say this, bro? To get
Yo,
lucky. People don't
might as
understand.
put the robot voice. It would have been as bad. It's just there's nothing you can do. I just don't like that song, and I'm actually I know why. It's just because I've heard it too much. I think that's the only reason why. Because the first
So
time I heard
you're
it, I
a
was like,
hipster. That's what you're telling me.
no, that's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that this song is so repetitive. So when you hear it over and over again, you just gotta hate it at the end. You,
but you see, I don't listen to music enough, like the same songs over and over for me until I hate it. You know what I mean?
hmm
So I guess I don't like. For me, Get Lucky was it was summer 2013. Me at home playing PlayStation and during summer and going to the amusement park and that blasting at the amusement park while we're doing rides and stuff there. So that's my nostalgia of it, right? Me, it's not this repetitive thing. It just brings back good
mm.
memories.
Oh well, then that's good. I mean, it's just connected to a good memory, so I guess that's why you enjoy it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Get Lucky. I just it's not going to change for me. I
No,
just hate
that's
that song
fine. You
so
don't
much.
have to.
Yeah,
Now, on to track number 9.
garbage.
Yeah, we'll leave him on that. It's like that senile old man that you're like, how many times will we have to make you understand? But he never does, so we leave him alone. That's pretty much it, bro. Nah, nah, nah. I'm having fun.
Yeah, of course.
Number 9, Beyond. It was by the Daft Punk duo and a certain Paul Williams Jr. and Caswell also. So it goes dreams, beyond dreams, beyond life, and then things like that. You are the end and the beginning, things like that. It sounded a little bit like that, if you guys remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember it.
I
I
remember it had a great start. I think it was classical music, kind of.
I mean, this is an album that is very, very influenced by jazz, and like I don't know how to explain it. Maybe 80s music. I think it
Yeah, no,
was
I
trying
don't,
to.
I don't. I think there was like one song where a bit of jazz, but I mean, for the rest, it's pretty much the 70s, the 80s, the kind of groovy Airbnb music.
Exactly.
That's the feeling I get. But I think the beginning of Beyond, yeah, the bit of classical music, and I was like hopeful for a second of two there, and then it
Boom!
just
Robotic
yeah,
voices.
yeah, and then I was like, all right, so this one is done, so skip.
Dang, you
I,
skipped
I
it.
didn't. I didn't skip it. I listened to it all, but as soon as the robot voices came in, I was like, all right. So all hope is lost for that one. We'll have to wait for the next one.
Ooh.
See, I enjoyed it. I said first. So my first remark going into was I said first song in some time. So I think the last 4 songs had features.
Yeah.
Didn't have one. I mean, maybe other people participate, but the song didn't have any featured. And I said the start is very cinematic. I'm hooked. Looks like I'll be watching an epic movie. So it's my favorite slow song in the album. Simple
Ooh.
beat, simple lyrics, works well. Not much more to say about it. Like I said, it's my favorite slow song
Okay, okay.
of the album. I really enjoyed it. I found I found that's the thing is the robotic voices they were there, but they were like a bit muted. It wasn't super loud. It was just like it was almost I didn't even look at it as lyrics. It was just another sound that was included in it. And
Which is the point, right?
yeah, and that's what I
Yeah.
enjoyed about it. It was just like it's soothing. I didn't find like remember I was saying within I found the heavy super heavy auto tune
Mm-hmm.
didn't mix well.
Yeah.
This was a song that I found the mixing was done much better.
Okay, I see what you mean. Good, good. As for my part, I think that Beyond is a very good song too. I think it can be interpreted as a lot of things, but to me, it's again a love song that is addressed to someone that is dearest to you. But I think some other people could find other meaning to this song through the lyrics and yeah, a good song in my opinion. Not my favorite in the album, but I am surprised that it managed to captivate Kyle.
Well,
Jackie,
like I said,
I knew, that it was
I know.
a flop, direct flop. But Kyle, it wasn't a flop, and that's good.
Now we can go on to number
Track
10.
number 10. Oh my god. Motherboard by the Daft Punk duo only, no featuring. What did you guys think about this song?
So I wrote purely instrumental song. Liked it a lot. I listened to it twice. The first half is good, nothing special. Then in the middle was weird wet noises that I hated on my first listen. However, after re-listening to it, I really like the song. It starts out good, and then the motherboard kind of like upgrades, and it starts letting some sick ass beats. It's like takes the original beat and like just heightens it. I
Yes.
find,
Yes.
and I like that about it.
I am so glad that you enjoyed this song. What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I think it's like third favorite one on the album.
Oh, yes! That says
Yeah,
a
no, it's
lot to
pretty high
me.
up.
Because nobody really talks about Motherboard, it seems. But to me, it's a crowning achievement. I really enjoy the progression, the quality of every single sound. Kyle was talking about wet noises. When I'm in my car and I'm blasting because I have Homework, their first album, Discovery, and Random Access Memory. When I'm switching out between the three, when I reach that part, I almost max out the sound in my car. I'm like, there is too many subtle shifts and notes and different manipulations that are going on that I want to hear and I want to enjoy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the first thing is that there are no robotic voices, so that's like it's a good thing for me.
Godsend.
But the electronic music is not too heavy. It's not it sounds a bit like real instruments. And as Kyle
Because
said,
it is. That's what
Yeah.
I want to like. If you guys didn't understand with this album, they wanted to make something real with the state of the art technology. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still it was made with a synthesizer, but it doesn't sound
No,
as
no, no.
as
It's not.
it's made with what?
Like most of the sounds in the song, it's not synthesizer.
No, I know most of it, but I mean, you can. There's still one synthesizer, right? Because this,
Yeah, it must. Like I think that there has to be one. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's the main track, the main melody is composed with that. But even though it's made with synthesizer, it's not as um, heavy or electronic sound like
Mhm.
as in previous album.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like the album. What's it called? Discovery,
Yeah. Discovery.
which is pretty heavy on electronic music.
It
So
is.
that's
Yeah.
why, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and the drum line is also pretty interesting. It sounded a bit like you mentioned jazz, in this one you can pretty much hear it. It sounds like maybe Kyle will get the reference, but in Whiplash, um, you know,
Caravan.
not Caravan, Whiplash actually, not Caravan.
Oh, okay.
Whiplash, the
Yeah,
s-
the
the one that
actual
you
song.
yeah, the one that they practice in in the middle of the beginning of the it's same kind of jazzy uh drum
Mhm.
line that yeah, I really enjoy that.
I'm so glad. I am so glad. Motherboard, man, a hidden gem. You guys managed to get some enjoyment out of it. Now it's up to Fragments of Time featuring Todd Edwards, track number 11. Uh, Todd Edwards, also known as Todd Edwards Imperatrice, which is American house and garage record producer, DJ, and singer.
So I wrote, the song is great, but the lyrics is where this song shines. It isn't insane lyrics that has 800 rhymes and that has many complicated words. The song hits quite close to home. I always said that memories are what makes a person. Without them, you are lost. You don't know who you are or who are the people that love you. There's always the saying to live in the present and forget the past, but that's impossible. And the song says that there's no shame to want to recall, like a computer, your memories.
Mm-hmm.
I like the message. Or maybe
Yes!
the song is about death. I don't know.
I really love how you managed to get that out of the song because it seems like most of the people understood it that way. And yeah, it wasn't until recently that I connected more with that way of seeing it because I always felt I don't know how to say it, but it was not much of a moody song. It was actually a very, there is melancholy and there is nostalgia. With melancholy, we associate more negative emotions, but with nostalgia, we're associating more positive emotions. And to me, it was more nostalgia than melancholy.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
What about you, Jack?
I didn't particularly like it. I just it sounded like some a bad song from the 80s to me. It's, I there was nothing really catchy about it that I found. So
I
yeah,
just
it
keep
didn't.
playing back into time. Everywhere I go, there's
Nope.
moments of shine.
Nah. Nope. Just there's nothing memorable about that one. I think
Bro, I
like
just
when
sang to you the most memorable thing about it.
yeah, the lyrics, of course. But
I really like the song is okay. I don't think it's this in terms of the sound. I don't think it's. I I like the lyrics. I like the them talking about the fragments of time and everything. And I always like the one thing though that I do like about the album and the lyrics and everything is that they use a lot of the title RAM for explaining a lot of stuff. They use computers and everything, so it always plays this little dance between. The song could be just talking about fucking computers, you know what I mean?
It could.
Or that's what I really like this song, especially this idea of having RAM and random access memory and everything is, and calling back to that information. I like that. I found it was a nice play on the title and the whole theme of the album.
Bro, imagine being someone that doesn't understand that, like, you know who.
I'm here to review music. I'm here for the music.
It's an album, it's more than music, Jackie.
I was here for the music. This is what I have to say for my defense. I'll read the lyrics because, you know.
You
when
have
it's
them
not-
under your eyes, yeah?
No, I'll do it some other time because I think it will take a long time. You just to absorb everything because
I'm
of course
telling
cannot
you,
hear-
bro, every time you skipped those robot voices, they had bangers lyrics.
Yeah, but why? Just get someone to sing it. Like why does it have to be the robot to sing it? Just take
Because it's the Daft Punk, it's their artistic vision, bro.
yeah, well, that's great for them. But when you don't understand it the first time, you're like, why should I listen to this? I'm here for the music. The music
I
in the
thought you
background-
weren't a casual, bro. I thought you were a hardcore guy.
I'm here for the music, man. That's all I have to say.
Casual, I swear. Casual are like consume fast, no effort. First time and done.
Yep.
Hardcore, man, they have developed and acquired tastes, and they can spend some time and reflect on the lyrics. And my man's like, nah, bro, I don't understand shit. It's bad. Well,
No,
it's
just
okay. I mean, I'm asking you to do this, right? You could turn around and recommend an album from a genre I completely despise, and I'll still listen to it. It doesn't mean that I'll have much luck enjoying it, and I think it's pretty much that for you. It's a style, a genre that doesn't speak to you on a fundamental perspective.
Well, you see, one of the flaws that I have while listening to music is that, of course, I have my soft spots. But the biggest flaw that I have is that if I don't like what I'm hearing from music, I'm not going to focus on the lyrics, because to me, like, the music is the most important thing, and afterwards you can, listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
But if the music that I'm hearing is not good, I'm thinking, well, then the lyrics must be shit, and then I turn around and I'm like, next.
I mean, it's like
So
me.
that's my fault.
Games
I
with
know it.
gameplay, right? Gameplay
Yes.
over anything. So
So yeah, I think it's basically the same thing.
I can understand it. I can totally understand. We can
Yeah, you get it.
we can move to track number 12, Doing It Right. Do you guys have any particular comments about that one?
So I said, meh, not bad, not great. The song is only 4 minutes long, but it felt like more.
Forever.
I was getting bored of the repetition. Daft Punk
If you
known
do
for the
it right, let it go all night. Shout outs on you. It's so funny.
said Daft Punk is known for their repeating songs around the world, but that's fun. This was just meh.
Yeah.
Like the beginning, I was like, oh, I liked when you were saying doing it right,
Mhm.
but then when it was the 80th time that they said doing it right, I was like, it doesn't have that same fun thing like around the world does. You know?
Yeah. The reason why Around the World is so good is because when you remove the around the world, the song is still a banger, bro. You remove that, it's a banger. You would listen to that by itself. And then you add Around the World and it gives it a significance, right? Since the world is round and that eventually you would track back, it makes sense within the composition, the music and all. Like sometimes, I don't know if that's what I'm talking about. Like feeling the artistic vision. That's the feeling I get.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, doing it right. Did it do right for you, Jackie?
Nope. Nope. Pretty much the same thing as the previous one. I listened to it and I was right. And here goes another one that I'm not like. It's going to be repetitive, and it was. And yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this one either. It's just I really don't like it. I don't like that type of music. So yeah, it didn't leave a big mark on me.
I see, I see. We can move on straight to Contact, which is the last track, the 13th in the album. It was made by the Daft Punk duo, Stefan Kem, who is a DJ known as, I think people know him better as DJ Falcon. He's a French DJ. Garth Porter, who is a multi-instrumental New Zealand-born musician, songwriter, and producer. And Tony Mitchell, a guitarist who rose to fame in the 70s with an Australian rock band. So as you can see, it seems like it's trying to get Australian. And Daryl Braithwaite, an Australian singer, lead vocalist of a certain group called Sherbet. So yeah, what did you guys think of Contact?
I wrote 2 sentences. I said, feels like I'm a spaceship flying into the unknown. I liked it.
Let's go. What about you, Jackie?
Yeah, I think it was a good way to finish the album. I think it's a good way to to end it all compared to the two previous songs. I think it's a good song. It's not amazing, but there's, as Kyle said, a feeling that you're going to the unknown and you're kind of taking off with the sound of the getting higher and higher, and the rhythm is good and everything is well built up. So yeah, I enjoyed it in the end.
Did
It's not
you
my
enjoy that Apollo extract?
yeah yeah I did.
Bro, it's so good.
So yeah, so this is why basically it's not the best song on the album, but it's not the worst either. It's like it's close to the top. It's closer to the top than to the bottom. And yeah, I liked it. I think it's a good way to finish the album, and I think you know me enough to know that if you finish well, I'm going to have a good impression of the album. So that's why I have a good overall impression of the album,
That's
even
what
though
I
there's
was about to ask. Overall, what did you guys think of it? Of your homework, of random access memory?
I liked it. There was 2 songs out of the 13 songs that are on the album. 2 of them I knew, so 11 that I didn't know. And I'd say about half of those. And I think for an album, that's a good ratio for me, because usually when I do listen to an album, or I attempt to listen to an album, I'm like, ugh, get this shit out, because I find sometimes there's songs that are just so blatantly just put there because they need another song for the album, right?
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it over. I've always liked Daft Punk. I always liked that their music was fun, but I got to experience another side of Daft Punk, which is more slow songs. A
Mhm.
lot that I didn't like, but some that were able to shine through. And especially, I found Motherboard. I liked it.
Wow.
That was a Motherboard and Touch. I'll say are my 2 finds.
You're like, yeah, bro, this is a gem.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Jackie?
yeah, overall it's a very good album because it starts somewhere and it does something that most albums don't do. It makes you travel through the songs towards the ending. And usually, as Kyle said, people when they're
Oh, we lost you. Or I lost everybody.
throwing songs here and there and they just put it together in it. It's there you go. There you have your album. But what I expect, or no, I should rephrase that. What I like about albums is when you feel like we're telling you a story throughout the music, and that it's building up towards the end, and that you have to have your climax. Well, what's unfortunate about this album is that the climax doesn't occur near the end. To me, the climax is at Touch, which is in the middle, which is not that bad. But music is something so subjective, and as I said, to me, I'm very picky about it. So when I'm able to listen to an album with, you know, 30 songs, 13 songs, and I managed to find three, four, or five songs that I like, and on those five songs, I find like three that I really like. To me, it's something amazing and it's something unique. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate it because it's that the song "Touch" to me, as I said, is my favorite song on the album, and after have like "Lose Yourself to Dance" and "Motherboard." So to have found these songs and to have listened to them and liked them, I think it's something special and you don't get in albums nowadays. So that's why when I think the overall experience, I really like the album. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. I'm very glad that you managed to get some enjoyment out of your homework because you don't want it to feel like a chore. And yeah, do you guys have anything to say before closing the podcast?
No, but I did like that it was a different thing than movies. Like movies are great and everything, and I love them. But I like that there was a change of pace, something a bit different, and exactly that. An album from people that I thought I knew, but you get to learn a bit more of the group, and you get to discover new stuff. So I
Awesome.
like that. Thanks.
You're welcome, my friend.
Yeah, and also it's as Kyle said, we knew who the Daft Punks were, and now that they split up, we heard about them in the news and everything, and there's like the whole big songs that we heard. But to sit down and to listen to an album, it gives you another point of view about who were the artists and what they were trying to express through their art, and what you don't get when you listen only to the radio is that you miss all those songs. So, for example, for me, like Motherboard and Touch, never heard of them. It
Yeah.
was my first time hearing them, apart from the video that they did. But you get to enjoy those songs, and at least they're not forgotten. They're on the album, so you back and listen to them.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah, I'm
I
so
really
happy.
enjoyed it.
So happy to have gems like Touch and Motherboard that are and Giorgio. I loved track number 3. His
Yeah, that's
story,
true. Giorgio, it's not that bad. Yeah.
I thought that it was very inspiring and it was a glimpse at how it all started. I did never heard of Giorgio, and because of Daft Punk, thankfully, I heard of him, and yeah, man, I have some newfound respect for this guy. A guy that I didn't know ever before listening to the album. So, for next week, we have another homework. I do not know if you guys had something else in mind from.
Well, actually, it's the homework that we gave last week. So you said, for last week we had two homeworks. We had we had Kyle's homework to finish 2 weeks ago, and then we have the listening of the album from Daft Punk, Random Access
Yes.
Memory, and now it's the time for the third homework that was given out last week and that we have started. Well, I've started on my part, but it's the playing of
Devil May Cry 5.
yeah.
You know what? You know what you should do, Jackie, as the next homework?
Yeah.
Play every single from start to finish The Last of Us.
I would be very glad to do that homework, and I'll think about it because I think I'll keep it in mind because one day when we'll speak about this amazing game in two parts, this great achievement of humankind, greater maybe than the landing on the moon. I think we'll have.
One of the best media content story of all time.
Yep, yep. So yeah, one day we'll have to talk about it, and that day I think it would be good if Momo did his homework that we've asked him to do like for the past like I don't know what 4 years, 5 years,
10 years.
Easy.
10 years.
Easy
There you
since
go.
2013.
Oh God. So yeah, maybe one day. But for now, we're on Devil May Cry 5.
So that will be next week's homework. I hope you guys have time because it's about 11 and a half hours to beat. But personally, I found myself putting a lot more time in it just to like familiarize myself better with my character and be able to do some cool tricks and combos. So I would recommend you guys to spend that time to try to familiarize yourself more than just running away for a while and spamming the same button over and over. But at the end of the day, you have a homework to do by next week, so I don't know how much time you have left. I hope
I'll
that
be
you
able to
have-
finish it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait for our discussion. And yeah, next week it's gonna be Kyle, I think, right? No, it's gonna be Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
It's gonna be me.
his last recommendation was The Wind Rises.
Yes.
I don't believe that you will make us see another Ghibli movie. This is a hunch I have, but I
Think
might be
I have.
wrong.
Oh God. Think again, my friend.
I didn't think you were such a Miyazaki fanboy, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's how it is. But yeah, we'll talk about it next week. But I'm not yet done with Studio Ghibli.
We're not done
Yep.
yet!
I'm excited.
Me too, man. I love these guys. And I
Alright.
love this podcast. Subscribe, my boys, for more. And until next time, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.